it close up like when you guys are working, or is this how it is? This is
I'll
it.
tell you now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, welcome inboard. The first thing is, to answer your question, this doesn't exist.
Okay.
This was cut here, and you
let
can see the thickness of the steel,
Yeah.
purely to allow you in.
Okay.
In the past, this was closed. There were 4 bunks here, 2 more bunks over here, and 2 more bunks up here. You couldn't even walk through here because these bunks were out in here. Okay. This is the back end of the torpedoes, as I told you. They're 6 meter long. These poles you see here are pneumatic rams. They force the torpedo out. You'll find all the handles and things up here. That's for controlling the doors in emergency. Normally you control all the stuff from the ops room. But if something goes wrong, that's an open furrow door, that tube, everything here. You can fire the torpedoes from around the corner here if they don't work there. So this is all the hydraulic side. Automatic stuff is elsewhere. There are 2 different types of torpedoes. One which goes straight out, then gets told where to look for the ship, looks for the ship, dives underwater and goes under the ship, blows up under the ship, causes a gas bubble, lifts the ship up, gas escapes, hole falls into the hole and breaks. You don't see flames, etc. The second one is an anti-submarine, which is a shorter torpedo, which we can also fire here. It goes out and starts searching where the submarine you're looking for was, and it picks it up with an active sonar. It actually tells people the ship is coming.
Oh, wow.
Not us, but later. Okay, so this is where the torpedoes are. We don't load the torpedoes at sea. There are no spares. If you can't sink your ship with these 8 and the 4 at the back, you shouldn't be in the business. Okay. To load them in harbour, we have to strip everything you see here. Everything here gets taken aside. You can't take it up to the door, by the way. The door is not there, remember?
Yeah.
But imagine no door.
Right.
So you go up through the hatches.
There's a hatch over there.
Yeah.
And once you're ready, we bring the torpedoes into that hatch. There's a big mechanism here. We take these big clamp things up here. You see one above there.
Yeah.
We lift up and we shift them. We line up and we put them into each of the torpedo tubes. Okay.
What
So we've got
would
to put everything back.
what would cause these things to malfunction or not fire and things like the torpedoes?
Electrical failure, anything.
Oh,
It happens all the time.
okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like with all just one.
No. It's just
Random.
no. On a submarine, everything's got a backup
Yeah. Okay.
because you can't suddenly go home and get it fixed.
Yeah, you can't.
You know, you're stuck out there. So
Yeah.
if there's a problem, you've got to have a backup system. Everything. You'll find these things over here. Remember I told you about the vent valves which are open?
Yes. Yeah.
They're controlled in the ops room, but in emergency, you can override them here. So if they want to dive the submarine and it doesn't work there, you can do them from here. You'll see these things all over. Okay. Now, the submarine had 51 people. Actually, we had more. We had people under training as well, so we had up to 60 people on board. 16 were senior ratings, lived in the aft mess. 6 were officers in the next mess. The remaining 36 to 38 lived here. Lived here. They didn't sleep here, they lived here. At sea in a submarine, when you dived especially, you don't walk up and down because they've got to compensate for your weight all the time. So this is where you stay. The only time you leave here is when you go on to your duty or you go to the toilet.
And
The rest of the time you're here. So you've got 24 people here all the time because you've always got people on duty.
Wait.
Because of that, for every post you've got 3 people.
Okay.
So 1 works, 2 are off. And as they relieve them, they take over your bunk. So you've only got 2 bunks for every 3 people.
Sure.
So we only need 24 bunks, which we've got with all these ones here.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, eating, food gets brought here, in things gets dished up here. You all eat here. You wash up the dishes and put it away. This is also your bathroom. If you look in there, you'll see there's a shower and 2 basins. Bad news, yeah, you can take it. Bad news, because we only get 8 to 9 liters of fresh water per day, and the chef takes 2 and the engineer takes 3. We've never showered. The shower's never been used. They thought they were clever, they put a saltwater shower in there instead.
Yeah.
But you don't use a saltwater shower if you're only going to shower again in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
So it's never been used. So all the potatoes and vegetables that were up there and all the tinned fruit and things that were over here got stored in there, and we couldn't even use the basins. So we had to brush our teeth in that basin over there.
So you get some horrible smells out here.
We wouldn't know because everyone smells the same.
Same. Okay. So just your nose just gets accustomed. Yeah.
You don't bath or shower for any time. Okay. Now, when you dive, the air gets stuffy. CO2 is dangerous. So we see these cans, all those jerry cans. we immediately take one of them. Contains something called irate. It's a mixture of sodium, caustic soda and lime. It's a white powder. You pour it into that scrubber, that great thing. You suck the air through and it purifies it. But if that doesn't work, that works, sorry. But you're now okay. But if you suddenly discover your oxygen should be 21% in the air, at 18 you start getting nervous, at 16 you've got problems. You can either go up and try and suck in air, but if you can't because you're in enemy waters, you have to light a candle, an oxygen candle. Okay, now, is any of you involved in chemicals and things? An oxygen candle, most people tell me you can't burn a candle and make oxygen because oxygen candles are, there's one over there. They enclose in it contains the chemicals sodium chlorate, barium peroxide and iron powder. Now this is too technical for you to remember, but in case somebody is. We've got an igniter and inside it and a device which burns, and it's burnt at a closed circuit inside, and it smolders at 600 degrees centigrade.
Yeah.
Gives off pure oxygen. Now, have you ever come across that before?
No.
How did you get down there? Did you fly?
Yeah.
When you were in the aircraft, they told you innovative loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask, please tug them down and pull them towards you.
Okay.
Each of them is attached to a small candle like that.
Ah, okay.
That burns for 20 minutes, those burn for 6. Okay. Sorry? No, there's no burning, it burns inside it.
Yeah,
It's just the
okay.
heat. Burns in a special burner. Yeah, it's very nice, it gives off pure oxygen. Okay, now I didn't tell you something. This submarine took part in 9 top secret operations during the so-called border war. One of them was when they landed Recce Special Forces in the harbour of Luanda, and they went out in a rubber boat from this submarine and sank an East German ship and a Cuban ship, Angola. She took part in an operation in Naval harbour where they sank 2 Russian ships, big ships, very big ships, and a Cuban ship. She also took part in the very famous raid by Wynand de Toy into Cabinda in 1985, where he got shot 3 times and captured, 2 got shot dead. 6 escaped, 2 of them very badly wounded on the submarine. Now where did they, I'm telling the story, where did they stay? On these things we used to put bunks. You can see there's 2 there and 2 up there, and that's where the Recce stay. Now if you don't believe me, go and Google the book Iron Fist from the Sea. Iron Fist from the Sea.
Recce's.
It tells you about the Navy and the Recce's. And if you want to, we sell copies here. Signed by the author.
I had a friend, Nelson, a really crazy guy, was part of the Recce's.
Yeah. Well, you say this book tells you all about the operations.
And they can control a lot of, they can do a lot of things.
Well, if you read that book, you'd be so surprised.
Yeah.
Like blowing up oil refineries and bridges.
Yeah.
Okay, but I just wanted to tell you that for the bedding here. The outboard motors went up here, so you couldn't even get past here. Okay. So you're getting a bit earlier of life on board.
Yeah.
Did I tell you we go to sea for 28 days, sometimes up to 6 weeks?
I was going to ask that next. Now, how long? Yeah.
Okay, if you follow me through now.
Sure.
You see, this is where our ski equipment is. Yeah, ski. On strike raft, ski behind a strike raft because they can do 35 knots.
Really?
I'll tell you about the ski equipment later.
Wow.
And then just to show you something, the nice thing about navies of the world,
Wow.
even our sailors had China,
Yeah.
continental China.
Yeah.
Okay, that door was cut for access now and for ventilation. The main entrance used to be up here, and the only way to get to the submarine was down the hatch here. Okay.
Yeah.
This is also your first obstacle course for tripping.
Remote behind. Yeah.
And the TV.
Wow, Moj. Submarine selfie. Torpedo selfie.
Get your feet there. Seats over there.
What's your
Okay.
Beautiful.
Seats over there. We're not going to sit, that's fine. And there's a seat over there. Wardroom with the officer stayed. Who's the most important man?
Captain?
No. Chef.
Chef, okay.
Chef was critical. On ships in the Navy, and specifically on strike craft and these ships, the chef is critical because on submarines, the meal is the highlight of the day. There's nothing else to do. You come on board with 2 little suitcases like this for your 6 weeks. Okay? So life is tough.
Yeah.
You haven't got much to do. So meals are very looked forward to, and they have very special meals. Strike craft have a different meal completely. You know the strike craft used to be in Durban, the missile boats.
Yeah.
They were very at sea, so people wanted a plate of mash and potatoes and to eat quickly.
Yeah.
Here they languidly sat and ate their asparagus tips and then had this little course of little food. Okay, but the captain is the senior man, and you're sitting on his bunk.
Okay.
So he only has the bunk there. The rest of us use the basin. 3 more are inside here.
Yeah, there's
And
3.
I'd like to see anyone get into that top bunk.
No.
Do they even use that?
Eh?
They used it, yeah.
You have to.
Every space is used, yeah.
But now how does one get
3 people stay there.
That is why you get thin guys in the Navy.
Well, not always.
Well, not always,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But you don't become a submariner if you don't fit in that bunk. So it's 3 officers there and 2 more where you're sitting.
Oh, so what would be here when you
Yeah,
drop it?
that comes up.
Oh, my word.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Thank
so
you. You would not fit in.
this table is where we officers all played, did things. But just to show you, this
As an operating
is the operating table. On this table, Corporal Hoog and Corporal Tablai had their bullets removed from it.
Bullets?
They were shot in Cabinda.
Okay. Yeah.
Doctors only come with us when we go on Special Forces operations, and they come from trauma doctors. I'll give you an example. One of my operations. Oh, here's that book we told you.
Oh, there's a book you're talking about. It's written by you, Arne. Arne.
Yes, it is, but I didn't want to say that. But 6 hours after this photo was taken, he was dead. He was badly burnt, you'll see inside here.
Yeah.
And he was on my boat. And Wouter Besson, the famous doctor,
Yeah,
so-called
yeah.
was my doctor. And I didn't.
Dr. Wouter Besson was your doctor.
He was my doctor on board the submarine.
Okay.
This is not a strike craft.
Yeah.
He was an outstanding doctor. If you ever get sick and someone tells you Wouter Besson, don't say, oh no, he's a doctor of death. He's not. All those accusations are stupid.
I didn't agree with that.
Well, he studied the poisons and gases
Yeah.
for the very good reason. We suspected them being used on us, so we had to get antibodies.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's amazing how somebody's lifetime work
Yeah.
just gets trivialized like that, eh?
I bet he is.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you something. What is that?
I don't know.
It's a polystyrene coffee cup.
Yeah? Okay.
Don't you recognize it?
I do.
Yeah, now we...
That's a normal
That's a
coffee
normal
cup.
coffee
Not
cup.
polystyrene, it's bigger. I'm going to tell you more about this later. That's a coffee cup that was in the submarine, one of our outer tanks, which went to 300 meters. Okay. I've got a reason for showing it to you, and I'll show you the rest later. Okay. This submarine is a hybrid EV. So,
Sorry, yeah.
so everything works on batteries. We've got 2 batteries, only 2 batteries. You're standing on one now,
Oh,
but the battery consists of 80 cells each. Each cell is this big, this high, and weighs half a ton.
each cell.
Each cell. And we've got 160 altogether. You don't put your tongue on a battery here because it's not 6 amps, it's 10,500 amps.
You.
Never see you again.
Okay, so follow me through. Okay.
You.
Told you.
Yeah, look
Something
down.
always. No, thank you, but everyone. This is the one that I catch everyone with.
Yeah, straight in there.
No. I will people.
Toes and toenails.
Okay, we just sit along there. So I'll show you now. Then we'll explain everything. You should all fit in there if you just shut
Yeah.
up. Okay. This is now the operations room and the second battery compartment. This door is very heavy. It's loaded. Because the worst thing about batteries is they cause a form of gas which I called water dust. It's waterstof, which is actually hydrogen. It's highly inflammable, so it's rather dangerous. So that's why I've done it like that. Okay. If I lift it up now, I'd have to bend and lift it here because you don't want it to leak out.
Right.
Okay, this is the operations room. All equipment in here is third generation. Made in South Africa, developed in South Africa. Okay? This is the combat suite. So those two panels there of the listening devices. The trackers, remember I told you about the trackers there? The one in the middle is for the one which turns around. This one over here is for the torpedoes. We tell the torpedoes where to go and search, etc. over here. These are for the local plot. It shows you it's like God's eye view down, show you where everything is around you. And that's for EW, which we only put on where we get periscope depth. And this here is the captain's periscope. It's an attack periscope. It's very small. So if you look up there, I'm just going to stand over here. Yeah. It's that one over there. Okay. That's the radar, which we don't use in action. That there is the EW, but behind it, there's two masts there. There's one. That one is the main periscope, which has got the front one is this big, little one. The other one has got a radar transceiver on it, so it can get ranges. It's also got a video camera, etc. It's very sophisticated, and it's been exported to this day from Gauteng. Okay. Okay. The captain sits here. You can see everything around him. Over there, you've got the echo sounder to show us depth. Then you've got communications, internal communications. Here you've got underwater communications, so you can talk to other people around you. This is a digital positioning system, so you know where you are at all times.
And do you get divers on board as well?
No. We take people who are qualified as ship's divers sometimes. Okay. Well, one operation we had divers on board, the captain and two others. Yeah. And they in fact saved the submarine in a way. We got medals.
Is that to like repair if there's anything?
They got a wire off Dar es Salaam.
Oh. Okay.
It's in Iron Fist.
Okay. Okay.
Starts with that story.
Any chance of me getting a pic on this?
Yes.
You know, keep this running.
As long as you don't fire a torpedo.
Be careful, you know. Huh?
You hold on to the
So how many people would sit in here at one time?
Normal peacetime, 3 or 4.
Okay.
But in action, about 8.
Take a picture of that over there. Go there in front. 8 of them in this little space. Wow. It's amazing.
Is this the main attack?
That's the attack periscope. The main periscope is the other one. This one is not as good, but you can put it up safely.
Wow. What's the EW?
Okay.
What's EW?
Electronic warfare. Oh. That's where we listen to other ships' radar, etc., and we get a bearing of it.
Right.
And we can use it to identify them, because every ship has its own little, what's the name?
Do you want yours?
Is this little red buttons, is that the magic button?
No, he doesn't fire from me.
Oh, he doesn't fire from me. So it would be set, he would get the target?
He'd look over there, he'd get all the readings from the automatic stuff, and they'd set the torpedo over there.
And then
the torpedo officer would do it.
Oh, the torpedo officer does the firing. Okay.
They do it from here.
Yeah.
Down after there's a problem.
Wow.
Okay. Amazing. So here we've got the main periscope, the famous one, which, when I say famous, you see in the movies.
Movies, oh, this
goes
one.
up, you turn around. Whatever you do, be careful about opening this wood, because a lady opened it, looked down and dropped her glasses in there.
Wow.
It's 4 meters down.
Sure. Watch your steps. Watch the steps. Ooh, look at this.
Now you want to take pictures? If you come and stand over here.
Yeah.
Ma'am, would you like to go and sit in this helmsman's chair? And you can face that way, you can actually steer the submarine. Not that we're going anywhere, but okay, that is now the helmsman's chair. That's where you steer.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you steer the whole side.
These two are here. These are the plainsmen. They're the ones that do the up and down story.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you first how we do this. This is now the control room. This is where they give the orders there. This is where we make the submarine do what they say.
Okay.
But the most important thing is, and below us is the auxiliary compartment. That is the heart of the submarine. Just like you have a heart which pumps blood and pumps oxygen through your body, other than oxygen in your lungs, of course, you give what you get. But that's where they do it. They just don't have, you don't have to think, they do it for you. They pump water, they pump hydraulic, they pump air into the tanks if we use any air. They are doing everything all the time.
So it's a nerve center.
It's a working center.
Working center.
Now, this is where you talk down to them if the engines are running.
Uh-huh.
But if you just lift your bag up, and one of you can just lift that lid, that is a gas fanny. That's what we call it. It's a rubbish bin.
Yeah.
You see it's shaped, and at the bottom of that plastic bag is a round weight. That's very thick plastic. And when it's full, we pull it out, we compress it a bit, we take it down here, it gets sealed and gets pushed into an ejector and it gets shot to the bottom of the sea.
Ah.
Okay. I had a greenie the other day, she was wearing a green tank too, funny enough, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Who said, that's terrible, you can't do that. Then I explained, you'll see now what I was explaining about. When that goes down, we shoot it down in deep water. Submarines don't operate in shallow water.
Yes.
So you saw what happened to a cup that was taken down to 300 meters.
Yeah.
If we're in 6,000 meters, this will be 300 times or 200 times that. So where the cup went to that size, down there to be gone to about that size.
Was that the actual size of the cup you were showing us, and that what it shrunk to?
It was pushed at 300 meters and pushed to that size.
Compressed to that?
Yeah, compressed.
Sure.
So when that bag goes down, by the time it hits the bottom of the sea, it's like a pebble.
Wow, okay.
So, and she said, but if somebody eats it, Pete's sake,
Nobody's going to get to that.
You can't
firstly,
get to that depth but how do you know they're not fish there? Yeah, she went on and on. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Okay, so that's what they do down there as well. This is where we drive. You drive. When we dived, they use these, but when we're on the surface like now, you've got yourself there steering, the chap on the bridge is to steer, and the voice comes out of that pipe there in front of you. Okay.
And this here?
Over here, no, that's just for us talking down there.
Okay.
There's nothing to do with
That's to communicate with the
Yeah,
guys down here.
because the engines are running, it's quite loud. There's a man in charge here, he's a controller, and there's an electrician sitting over here. Okay. So the handles we pull to make the ship dive.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Come further, no. Stay where you are, because I want to come back there. I'll show you
Okay,
how.
sure.
These are the ones to make the ship dive. At sea, they never like this. This is in harbour. You don't want to sink the submarine.
Yeah.
Okay? And those are the ones there which pump the air in again. We
Okay.
see them over now.
Yeah.
Okay, now the captain tells the chap on the bridge, I want to dive the submarine at 2 o'clock. He's up there between him and they've got those chairs you might have seen in the forest thing. I've taken out and put up there, so he's got space for people to smoke in the bridge, so that's the only place you can smoke. There are a lot of smokers. At that time, he sends them all down, and we get ready to dive. To make us, when we're ready to dive, I'm going to have to stand, you have to just, did you find it? I was going to have a clear line for them, I have to shout something which they must hear down further. No, you're going to have to stand over here. Just over there.
Come in here.
Okay.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
When the chap wants to dive, the chap on the bridge shouts, Alert! 1, 2 meters! And over here, immediately, 3 claxons. Okay. That is normally the main broadcast, but I've got to warn the people there so they don't
Okay.
in front. Okay. Chap immediately starts running down. The chap from the bridge, one of the man's here. What you do is you quickly close that green
Valve there.
because if you don't, you're going to get a face full of salt water. Okay, it's an open voice pipe. Green means salt water.
Okay.
This chap, the moment you hear that, the engines are stopped. Because if the engines keep going and we dive, it's going to suck all the air out and we're going to die.
Okay.
The man over here opens up and gets 2 of them. We suck slightly. As soon as the man at top side comes down through here, we dive. This chap does that. This chap does that. And we start diving. Okay. We go to 12 meters.
That way and this way.
So that's back. So we lift the back up.
Okay.
We just down, then we straighten up.
Ah, okay.
Okay. And we go down. It's fairly quick. Okay. Once we're at 12 meters, we do leak checks. We check, like in here, any water. There's certain places we check for water. Everything's closed. That person now quickly closes that if he hasn't remembered by now. and then we proceed down to whatever depth we're going to operate.
Okay.
Once we're underwater, if you're underwater, you watch the CO2, you watch the hydrogen and the oxygen over here. Okay.
Okay.
This is now, these are closed again, because you don't want to, if you want to surface, you want to surface. And we're proceeding now nicely. Okay. If anything happens while we're down there, and we suddenly can't, she won't go up, and we're flooding, you move away slightly there, just turn sideways.
Yeah.
There, you see that red handle?
Yeah.
You pull that red handle, and that drops 8 tons of lead on the bottom of the sea.
Okay.
8 tons.
So it gives you
It gives us
buoyancy.
buoyancy.
Yeah.
That's it. Gives us buoyancy. Okay. Now,
Amazing.
we want to go to the surface. So we give the order to surface. These people drive us up to 12 meters. We pump air into on these here. They pump into the tanks, which are now, it's like water wings again, bringing us up. When we get to the prescribed depth, up goes the periscope, quick turn around, nothing there. Up goes the snort mast, and we can start our engines and start sucking in air. You're always sucking air quickly, because they then charge all the bottles again. But from now on to go up, we've started the engines, so we use exhaust gas instead of the high pressure air to take the water out of the tank.
It's kind of like the truck exhaust brakes, similar.
Yeah,
similar?
yeah.
Okay.
Just same system. I'll show you how we do it.
Okay.
What are all of these levers for?
Sorry?
What are all of these levers for?
Oh, that's for pumping things all over the boat.
Okay.
Those are all pressure handles.
Okay.
If you've got 2 days here, I can sit in this compartment without moving here and tell you if you really want it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't know them anyway.
Yeah.
Only the person who needs them has to know them, or the people that work in that department. Okay, we're going to move this way now, and I'd like you to let your wife come first.
Yeah. Sure.
This is where I get accused of being a sexist. Once, no, seriously, I did.
Yeah.
But I just thought it's always been an idea, so I'm not going to change. Let me get here first. The rest of you can sort of come in there. It's not much space. No, but there's not much space for anybody. Now behind that door, behind you, is the freezer. Okay. Over here on the silver thing is the aerate again, and that's what the thing looks like, the scrubber below it. But here is your oxygen candle in a box.
Oh.
You have to burn it in that box because 600 degrees. You can't touch anything but pistol paint, etc.
Sure.
Okay.
Has there been any malfunction of that, Arne?
No, those don't.
Never.
They just don't burn.
Yeah.
But they are. You won't see them around the boat. There are 140 on the boat, but we've taken most of them out because it's a fire risk. If they won't start a fire, but if there's a fire, the heat.
Yeah. Just makes it hotter.
Hmm?
Just makes the fire hotter.
You know. That's all we need. Okay, now. Oh, no. That's a man shown next to that sign there,
Yeah.
which joined the ship in 1971. Obviously nicked from a local place. The crew on board. That's the Koers, which means the road. It's a kind of very broad road of 50 hostages, and they all insisted that with 50 people on board, they're the hostages on board the submarine. So they stole that part of the sign. That's a picture we produced up here showing where it was. He became an admiral. Right? You now in the kitchen.
Is that why you got called sexist?
Yeah, that's how you can. You can just put it back. It should be open, I think. That's a fridge. That's a fridge.
And this is supposed to house everything for like a month and 6 months?
No, but most of the cold stuff is in the freezer.
Oh.
The frozen stuff. This is just for the milk receptor, for example, is that tight. You're going to pull back the handle first. There we go. Well done. And you didn't have your finger in there. Okay. Big thing is we've got a very big pantry. We're standing on it, and you're standing on the door.
Oh, okay. So it's underneath.
You go down that thing and all over there. Okay. When you go past, you better take a picture of it because she's never going to complain about your kitchen again. Are you?
Our kitchen is smaller than this, I think.
No.
Come off it. You live in a caravan, do you?
Like twice the size.
At least.
So. but I don't need pot siders. I mean, you must take a look at this pot.
Whoa.
See the fish?
You need to go to the loo?
That's true.
Did you see the size of this?
Sure.
These are fish.
If you look
And
around
the best
all
is all
these
this basin.
dial boxes, handles, you realize
What's those
the
things?
knowledge level and
don't think it
specialization of submarine. Bearing in mind that mistakes on submarines are really, really life-threatening.
Watch it. What's the feature, right?
Okay, are we pause there again?
Yeah.
We're now in the diesel compartment. The diesels are only here to drive generators.
Okay.
There are two pill stick diesels below us. You can't see them. They're underneath here. They are this far apart. So if you work on them, you've got to go down 2 meters underneath here.
Sure.
And you have to stop the engines to cool. And
Sure.
if you're at the outside banks, you've got to remove everything there.
Sure.
What we've got here are the turbos and the ventilation system, etc. Or the cooling system. These here, because it sucks in air, those are for the inlets to the engines. These are the exhausts that I told you about.
Yeah.
And these two are, when you exhaust them to that, they go into the tanks as opposed to go out. Now, when we at periscope depth, you can suck in air in the snorkel, but the exhaust stays underwater. So you've got to control these.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Okay. We move on now a little bit. Where I'm now standing is the chap. Remember I told you when the klaxon goes, he's got to stop the engines.
Yeah.
Here's where you stop the engines. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But if you look at those ear defenders, this noise in here is unbelievable. You will not hear a thing. You won't even hear the klaxon. So how does he know to stop the engines?
Light?
Green light. Green light flash. As soon as that green light flashes, he knows to stop. That's the klaxon. Okay. That's the importance of the klaxon because it's a warning to everybody on the ship. Okay, as you come along here, these are switches, the black ones, and you'll see they've got 1, 2, 3, other, so the same. These are not switches, these are fuses, breakers. You know in the house when the power goes off, you go and switch it down and switch it up? Not with our switches. These ones you've got a massive spring and it takes a hell of a lot of strength to try and turn that. Because that's 1800 amps.
Sure.
We've got 4000 and 8000 amps this side. Okay. So that's where we connect the batteries to the generators. Over here is where we take the batteries to run the support systems, the fans, the important things, and the pumps. Now where I am, I've just closed the gate. I bet you not one of you expected to see a gate on a submarine, did you?
No.
No.
Okay. And a horse hitching post. It's not. Where I'm standing now is where we connect the batteries to the motors. Only way to make the submarine go is to connect up here. Here I've got a hand wheel, which I have to turn for the starboard and for the port one. And the direction you turn them, and you've got to, you don't turn them like this, otherwise you're going to go like that. You've got to turn one that way and one that way. And
Oh.
how they do it, I don't know. I can never do it.
So that's getting both your sides of your brains to operate.
You've got to
Yeah.
cross the. But they did it very well. But this is very important because if we're underwater and we suddenly start diving, remember I told you you've got those weights to go?
Yeah.
That's one way. But if we can persist and we go down, there's only one way to save the submarine. That's to go astern in the engines,
Engine.
the motors.
Yeah.
We've got to go astern from here.
Yeah.
I've got to change the way we're going.
Oh, okay.
But I can't if I'm in the pile with the rest of you there. So this is not actually a gate, it's a footplate. And we're going down like that, so I'm on that and I can reach this.
Oh, you can still stand and have your balance on that. Okay.
You're learning something about submarines.
Sure.
A lot.
We've got pamphlets there if you can take it if you go and get all the details.
Life of a sailor, huh? Submarinist. Tabby.
This is your first visit to a submarine.
First time. And we're leaving today. Our flight's today. So, and I came here about 2 days ago. I saw this. We were just driving. And I saw this and I said, I'm definitely coming back because I've never been inside a submarine.
Do you regret it?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, now, quickly to tell you, this is the aft mess, where 16 people stay. The coxswain is the senior warrant officer. He stays in this bunk. You can see he's got a nice shelf for his hot milk when he goes to bed at night and everything. But nobody can kick him. The worst bunks are these over here. That one over there is the worst. You can't get into it. You've got to crawl into it. You can't get into it. It's also got these oxygen candles above you. The dog bites you. There's the dog. Now you picture of the dog now, the green one.
Yeah.
And the telephone rings all the time. Okay.
Oh wow.
This is also the only place in the submarine you can exit the submarine underwater. But that is only under horrible circumstances. But when you chips it down, it chips it down.
So that's if you've been hit and
If
you need to get the crew out.
If you've got to get the crew out and you're less than 100 meters. Less than 100 meters. Now let me explain to you that 100 meters, we don't dive much in 100 meters. Not in the bay here sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but it's you've got to have it in case.
How many submarines do we have?
3.
3.
Plus this one I'm using.
Plus, okay.
Okay. This is where you come if we have an emergency. And you see here we've got our ski equipment as well. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Ski doesn't stand for ski. Ski stands for Survival Kit Individual.
Wow.
Okay. So you've got three sets of them, and you've got more in here, each of them. You all muster here. This ladder is not here normally.
Okay.
They've got 2 tables and a bench here, because this is where they sit. That bunk is normally down as well. In fact, I think I want to drop that bunk. Yeah, not now, but later. Okay, so this is the packed away here. We now decide we're stuck, we can't get up. We're going to try and get out. Put this in, drop the skirt down to about over here, tie it tight. And when everything's ready, and the captain knows there's someone to help us, it's pointless escaping into nothing. They then come, the captain gives the instructions to cut all power, isolate all power. They switch off all the electricity. This place is pitch dark, and there's nowhere darker than all power off on a submarine, I can tell you now.
Yeah.
In there we've got special calcium lights, which we break. And when we're ready, this thing is now down. The captain instructs, flood the boat. We all put on these suits. We flood, the water comes pouring in, and it goes up until it gets equal pressure. As soon as it's got equal pressure, we send 2 people up here into the air here. They then open up, and they go up to the surface. All of us, very quickly, put your head underwater, go in here, and swim to the surface as fast as you can. What's the last thing you do before you put your head underwater? Take a breath. That's the last thing you'll ever do. Because within the first 5 meters, your lungs will explode. Because if you hold your breath, take a deep breath, your lungs are not made to hold pressure.
Yeah.
You'll just literally explode.
Sure.
So what you do is you blow out.
Ah.
But if show me how you blow out. Not a good way of doing it.
Through the nose.
You've got to blow out.
Ah.
Because you purse your lips, it doesn't go fast enough. So you know what the best thing to do is? And it's the easiest thing as well. Scream.
Is it?
Try scream.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Scream. Whole way up.
You're taking a lot more out.
And on that drizzly note, we finished inside the boat. 2 more things I'll show you. I hope you enjoyed your tour. If you have any complaints or what's the names, there's a visitor's book there which we'd like you to put in there. It's right Durban and there where you come from. There's also pamphlets and things and all sorts of funny things which will remind you of your visit. If you want to be reminded of it.
Of course.
Okay.
What's in green?
So if you follow me down now.
What's there, Arne, in the front
Sorry?
there? What's that?
Oh, that's the controls for the outside torpedoes, which I want to show you now.
Okay.
So, thank you, yeah. Okay, that's like the one up forward, but this one you can't see the torpedo tubes.
Okay. Oh, what a memorable tour.
Check the thing, propellers and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, of course, this museum only opened on the 16th of December.
No? 24. 2024.
Yeah.
Oh, we're quite lucky then. We got here at the right time.
Been open for 1 month.
Ah.
Not even a month yet.
Did you hear that?
Oh, so we opened exactly 1 month.
Everything happens in its timing, right?
This boat was in the dockyard in a rusted state in July.
Yeah.
In fact, you look at the counter, you'll see how we moved it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Finally, folks, you stand over here, you can see the 2 torpedoes outside, 1 on each side, sticking out over here, and 2 more right at the back.
Where's the torpedo? Oh, it's up there.
Yeah. 2 more right at the back.
Yeah.
Okay. The aft plane I told you about is actually behind the propellers.
Yeah.
So that has perfect functioning. And then I told you about the dropping the weight. If you pull that thing. I didn't last in something. I was just struck off and shoot just a small boat. It doesn't do the size. It's going to be the activity. Okay, there's one, there's the other. You see they shaped together, they were 8 tons. They're shaped like that because that's to make sure they tear and don't snag. Because the release mechanism is in here. You pull that and that red thing, it pulls back, and both of them fall away.
So this piece and that piece, 8 tons.
8 tons.
Sure.
There.
Yeah.
You see those bolts in them?
Yeah.
That's the nice news. But those bolts in you can't release them. That's locked them. And every time we went on operations, they put those in.
The bolts.
When you think you might need them even.
Yeah.
But for very good logic,
Yeah.
because if we suddenly just lodge this by accident, you're under harbour.
Yeah. So you're in trouble.
Big trouble.
So that's where the divers would need to.
Well,
Oh.
very quietly we sent people down to
So basically, it's a catch-22.
yeah, there would be divers who did that were special forces divers who did it very subtly because we didn't want the people to know we're going in operation.
Okay.
They're all very top secret.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, folks, I'm going to take back my little things here. And
Thank you, sir.
if you come with us, we'll show you, you can get your
Good.
little what's names, what you call them. Brochures. They couldn't. No. No, we had to be on the surface. Okay. You submarine these ones.
Yeah, because you see them shoot them off with, train.
Oh, no. Yeah, I suppose we could do that if we wanted.
Wow.
Yeah. We experimented that submarine you don't need drugs. You stay underwater.
Do you think there's something that's so heavy that you're able to say?
You want to get some pamphlets, etc. here?
And that was the first trip into a submarine. What a place! What a place!